Welcome back to another episode of Trackside with Anthony Delpech. This weekend we'll be touching on Turfentine and Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday, Hollywoodbets Scottsville on Sunday. Don't forget about the free-to-play Hollywoodbets Punter Challenge, including Singapore and Hong Kong racing. A good weekend's racing, hopefully it's a profitable one. We start off at Turfentine on Saturday, and my best bet comes in race 1 in the form of number 2, Pistol Pete from the Tony Peter stable. Caden Brewer in the saddle. He was super impressive when winning on debut over this distance on the Vol Classic course. He would have come on from the run. He looks to be above average, and in this type of field, he can follow up. We move on to race 6, and Anthony's best bet comes in the form of number 7, Marauding Horde from the Mike Cox stable. Cabello Matsunyani in the saddle. He's finished second in both his starts to date and should enjoy the step up to 1800.
Yeah, I think Mike has put him up to the 18. Obviously, he believes he'll get the trip, and I think he's meeting the right field. And if just improved from his last 2 performances, I think he'll take a ton of beating.
Move on to race 7, and the Hollywood Syndicate is represented by number 5, Turpitz from the Brett Crawford stable. Cabello Matsunyani in the saddle. He was doing his best work late over 1450 meters last time and steps back up to the mile.
Yeah, he does step up to the mile, but he's his own worst enemy. He doesn't travel in a race. He loses a lot of ground, and he has to make up a lot of ground. But saying that, the field is very competitive, and yeah, I think he could run into the money.
In race 8, the Hollywood Syndicate will be represented by Iron Giants, who's having his first run for the Syndicate, and he hails from the Brett Crawford stable. Cabello Matsunyani in the saddle, and he looks to have needed his last start and would have come on from the run. Having his first run, what can you tell us?
Yeah, really, I don't really know too much about the horse himself, but looking at his form is very strong, and going onto his form, I think he must be a horse with a big chance in the race.
Hollywoodbets Kenilworth is alongside Turfentine on Saturday, and my best bet comes in race 1 in the form of number 7, World of Pleasure from the Vaughan Marshall stable. Bernard Fade Herb in the saddle. He produced an encouraging debut effort over 1,000 meters on this course. He would have come on from the run. Will enjoy the extra 100 meters on offer, and unless one of the first timers have any ability, he should take a power of beating. In race 3, the Hollywood Syndicate is represented by number 8, Kazi from the Harold Crawford and Michelle Ricks yard. Richard Free in the saddle. She's definitely better than her last start over a mile.
Yeah, I think you can write off her last run. Richard dropped her out to the back, and they went to steady canter, and she was way out of her ground, and she never finished too far off them, 3.5 lengths. I think this time he will be riding her forward, and looking at the company that she's taking, I think she'll get out the maiden plate.
In race 7, the Hollywood Syndicate is represented by number 5, Moya Walaliga from the Gareth Van Sale stable. Atend takes a ride. His last 2 starts have been fair, and he must be included in all bets.
Yeah, I think his last run was a bit of a flat run. Could have been a bit too close to his previous run. Gareth has been struggling a little bit in Cape Town, so nice to see he had a winner the other day, so maybe the stable has turned around. But he's definitely a horse on the day. If he's well, he will definitely not be out of it.
He's doing well back home. His coat is good, and we freshened him up a little since his last run, and I expect him to be competitive on Saturday.
Racing on Sunday takes place at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, and we'll start off in race 4, where the Hollywood Syndicate is represented by number 8, Putous from the Allison Wright stable. CPC Tletlengwa takes a ride. He's shown good improvements in each of his runs and returns from a 12-week break.
Yeah, I think that must probably the biggest concern, and listening to the trainer, he's saying that he hasn't put him on the grass, so he's coming straight from the sand. So that is a little bit of a concern with his fitness. Obviously, with this awkward draw of 8, he might have to use him to go forward, and if there is a fitness problem, then he might end up stopping. But saying that, I think he's a horse that's definitely on the up, and he should crack his maiden pretty soon, and if he doesn't need the run, he'll be in the firing line.
He is going into this race not having been on the grass. His track work has been good. He is well in himself, and if Apprentice Schlengwer can get a good position, expecting a good run from him.
Race 6 on the card is a non-black type Umtumboti Stakes, and my best bets on the card is number 1 Bella Sacombe from the Paul FT stable. CPC Tlengwa takes her ride. She won a good race in the non-black type Michael Roberts Stakes last time. She should have no issues with the extra furlong on offer. Carries another lightweight to 51 kgs. Against similar company, she can follow up. In race 7, the Hollywood Syndicate is represented by number 5, Isn't She Bonnie from the Michael Roberts stable. Rachel Venica in the saddle. She won a good race in her comeback run over this course and distance last time.
Yeah, and Michael was pretty concerned that she'll be in need of the run as we've had so much rain. And I thought in the manner she won, it was a good win. And obviously coming into this race a bit fitter. Obviously she's 3.5 kgs worse off at the weights with War Empress, which is going to be tougher. But I believe if her fitness level is better, she'll be the filly they'll have to beat.
She took her last run very well. She's doing well since the race. I expect another big run from her.